do have one teacher which I can remember today is Mr. Brunel de Cruz. He is my art teacher. And he rides bicycle to school at that time. And because my interest at the early age, of course, is in the area of arts, I do painting, I do craft works. He was the one who was giving me this bigger interest in the area of art. He would just call you by names.
Okay.
And when he wants to scold you, it doesn't sound like he's scolding you. So, a very fine teacher, and that's how I thought I begin to sort of have firm interest in the arts until today. I, of course, is not an artist. I don't paint, but I've got very strong interest in the arts in terms of collective paintings and anything to do with arts, for that matter.
What were you like as a student in class? Were you very,
one, of course, I'm not as talkative.
Okay.
You can see an average student, I would say. I don't like maths. And I can recall some occasion, of course, when my teacher in the Form 3, who happens to be coming from the same, what I call, district where I came from, maybe just Moa, thought I was not giving attention to my maths. And he called me to front and said, "Did you see any stars?" I said, "No, I did not." So I get a strong, what I call, pinch on my nose.
Yeah.
And I still remember today when I have this sort of red spot here for a number of days. But of course, because of that, I from Form 4 and 5 onward, of course, be more attentive. Not arts as a subject, but of course the other subjects, like you have got English literature, you have got English, you have got Bahasa, Melayu or Bahasa Malaysia. But of course, when I reached Form 6 at that time, I recollect that there are only 5 Malay students. They have to take at Bahasa Melayu. But there's no Malay teacher in the schools. So I have to ride bicycles to go to the Sekolah Ismail. Sekolah Datuk Sri Amar, call it, sorry. When this teacher of mine, name is Jumat Makno, later on became director of education, quite senior officials here. So we have to go there and take up Malay literature as a Malay subject. So that's one of the subjects I took up at that stage.
So that was what you like, Malay literature?
At that time, of course, one, of course, it is something which is compulsory, sort of, that everybody has to take PE, physical education, not actually as a subject, but actually just running around, climbing ropes and whatnot. And then, of course, you have to be active in some sports. So I took up badminton at that stage, even played for the house, as they call it, not for the schools. At much earlier age, of course, I joined the Scouts. At that stage, it's not called Scouts, it's Cups or something like that, you know. And you have to do camping in that stage.
Did you enjoy that?
But I did not continue until just a few weeks back when I joined the the celebration. When so well, of course, it's fun because it's something extracurricular. It's more adventure. You go out. You don't sort of stay at home.
Sure. Now, what would you say?
Well, of course, once to say big thank you for the teachers, for my teachers. Of course, there are many I can name who I believe has helped me in molding my character. Of course, to be what I am today. We talk about teachers from junior, primary, of course, even up to higher education. And I would say how I appreciated their interest to educate me, and how I see how committed they are. Of course, you have some favorite teachers, you have some teachers who are not your favorite, but now you recognize even those teachers who are not favorite of yours. He teaches, or he or she actually teach you, give you knowledge, impart upon you good knowledge, so that you can be wholesome in your acquisition of knowledge. You can see a bigger understanding what the world is all about, and I think we appreciate it very much, the contributions of all my teachers. So I must say a big thank you to them.
What's the meaning of good knowledge?
Of course, it's different now because I'm Minister of Education and very much involved and lead this ministry. Obviously, I look at the Teachers' Day as a very important calendar for the year, because what would education be without teachers? I will not be in that position to teach even as much as you are a minister. So I appreciate it very much that the teaching professions are very important. Then, of course, now there's a lot of expectations how this country can move forward in terms of development of your human resource or human capital. And this is where the schools is the beginning, where knowledge is acquired, you know, and capacity building in terms of knowledge. So I think during the early years, of course, Teachers' Day is not celebrated in the big way as it is today. And of course, the only thing, like I saw today, school children will bring in some presents for the teachers. I couldn't remember whether I brought any present to my teachers before. Not that we did not appreciate, but of course it is not a culture, because now over years the country has developed, you know, and in certain areas, of course, people are more in capacity or able to contribute. So words, but a little bit of those token stuff means a lot for the teachers.
Further strengthen the teaching profession.
It is a very challenging task. For the last number of weeks I've been here as Education Minister, of course, is to look into how best we could sort of upgrade the teaching professions to be not only an honorable one, but critical in the path of making our countries a developed one. And as I mentioned before, that human capital development is critical at this stage. So what we intend to do, of course, to look how we could improve further the quality of educations in the country. I mentioned today in the meeting is with senior officers to say we should achieve sort of a global world standards in terms of quality of educations. And to do that, of course, it's very important that we focus on the development of capacity and capability of our teaching professions. Training and retraining, these are basically the software in terms of education, which is critical while we develop schools, but schools is useless without good teachers. So my interest, of course, is to see how teaching professions move on a higher ladder, and at the same time to deal with many of the issues and maybe problems that are encountered by teachers, because we have teachers in the urban areas, teachers in remote rural areas. There are issues as regard to the burden that some teachers have to bear more than just teaching. Of course, issues of welfare, issues of opportunities for promotion, something that I believe are important for teachers to have a very high moral in terms of doing their work. And I think we need to see what best we can do, of course, in terms of dealing with those issues so that they will be performing the job in a manner that they're happy. They've not been feeling like they've been sort of burdened with more than they should be performing. I would like to undertake a whole complete study of looking to all the so-called issues and problems related to teachers, and not only in terms of what are the benefits or what everything, but the real issues that they face. Because I think the focus should be on teaching. But of course, some teachers will have to bear extra burden of administering schools or taking care of disciplines in specific area like extracurricular, which they see as an additional functions, which is sometimes create some problem for them as well. So those are the few things that, of course, there are other issues that we have to address. So I think I have set that as one of my important target. What needs to be done when we talk about quality of education, of course, to relate that to the quality of the teaching professions.
Are you going to like oversee everything? Or would you
Well, at the moment, I'm giving education my top priority. Aside from being Deputy Prime Minister, of course, there's a lot of other assignments. But because one is a big portfolio, two, because the Prime Minister has directed that I focus on human capital development, and a special cabinet committee is going to be formed, which I will chair. So obviously I need to, within a very short period of time, have a full grasp and overview of what this ministry is doing, and where we are at the moment in terms of educations and standard educations, and then what needs to be done in terms of improving further, of course dealing with many issues and problems that arise from time to time, because we have more than 500,000 teachers, we have more than 5 million children in schools. So you can imagine the number of people who has got direct interest in education is huge. But I think at the same time, I will would like to see how we could introduce and improve systems of teaching and learning. That I think is important. Of course, at the same time, I earlier emphasized the importance of quality, and I set a certain standard, for example, to achieve not only excellence. I use the word par excellence, for example. So there must be a certain set target which is high that we want to achieve. So to do that, of course, I need to spend a bit more time than some people might imagine to see what is happening, and maybe introduce some interesting thing, like I mentioned how important is sports in schools. I've said it, so I give directive today. They're going to submit to me what are the improved curriculum for co-curriculum for sports in schools. What are the things that we need to address in terms of facilities and amenities and training of teachers for sports, for example. And obviously there's a lot of things that need to be done. So it's one of the new things that I've thought is important.
this Teachers' Day?
Well, of course, one is to wish all the teachers Happy Teachers' Day, Selamat Hari Guru. And just to say how much I appreciate their contribution to nation building. I would like to see how teachers are able to contribute more in terms of uplifting the standards of education in the country. We will hope, of course, they become more inspired and committed to work harder and to acknowledge the fact that education is critical and of prime importance for the country. So I think I would hope that what they have done has been in a way contributed a lot to nation building, but the challenges ahead for teachers are going to be bigger, not because expectation among parents and of course government is higher, but of course what has happened in the global community that needs to be recognized so that this education become dynamic. It will move in tandem with the national development, of course, in sync with the global development as well. So where knowledge become important, and we have to move into a knowledge-based economy. We have to move into so-called precision society. We want to move into, well, one Malaysia, as the Prime Minister has mentioned, where issues of nation building in terms of unity among people is important. So I would hope that teachers have an overview why education become important, so that they will then be able to not only give focus, but of course to be prepared to serve better.